Welcome everyone to Movie Talk. I am Joe Zapata. We are brought to you actually this episode by Ace Sunglasses. Go to acesunglasses.com/AU and get 30% off selected brands. Ace Sunglasses, they're our sponsor. Now, we're going to start and introduce the team. We got my boy, Dave DC Callari. What's up, Dave? How you doing?
Fellas, what's going on?
And now we got a newcomer. He's a screenwriter. His name is Rob Alvarenga, right?
Almost.
Almost. Alvarenga.
Alvarenga. Sorry about that. Alvarenga. Well,
All
welcome
good.
to the team. I'm excited to have you on board and just do some little bit of a movie talk.
All right. Excited.
So let's get started right away. Let's talk about right now. I'm a big horror fan. I love Jason and Friday the 13th. I love Freddy Krueger, Michael Myers. And now Peacock has sort of released, and the star will be Linda Cardellini. She played Hawkeye's wife, right? Is that
Cardellini?
Cardellini. Okay, I'm close.
We gotta get a speech coach.
Yeah, I'm horrible with names. I'm horrible, really bad. So she's going to be playing Pam Voorhees, who is actually Jason Voorhees's mother in the prequel series on Peacock. Now, I don't know. It seems like it would be okay idea. I don't know. Dave, let's start with you. What do you think about this idea?
I think it depends on, again, it just still comes down to writing. For the casual person who's very aware of Friday the 13th, a lot of them probably still don't know that she was the main antagonist for the first movie, and Jason didn't really come around till the second movie. So I think all the diehards are going to watch it. The backstory might be cool because we don't really know. We know what happened to Jason at the camp, but was most of his childhood like that? Was the relationship with his mother strained, even though she did what she did? What was the father like? There's definitely some cool places to go. I think the actress, Linda Cardellini is I don't know if she's a great choice, but she's very talented. So whatever she has to do, she'll probably do very well with. And A24 is the studio, so they're they're doing pretty good stuff lately. So it could be a hit.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'll see it. I'll watch it. Rob, you're the screenwriter. What do you think about this choice of this prequel series of Crystal Lake?
When I first read about this news, at first I was like, "Whoa, wait a minute! I have questions." So I'm actually, what my favorite genre happens to be horror, and I grew up in that golden age of slasher flicks, and especially with Jason Voorhees, the Friday 13, the whole lore. I have, I'm not as deep as you could find other fans online about it, but I know enough that when I heard about the show, my thing is that it's got to stay in the pocket. Dave mentioned about writing, because Pamela Voorhees, she loses Jason to a swimming accident when he's getting picked on. She blames the counselors because they weren't around, because they were having sex in the cabins, whatever, stuff like that. And so she exacts her revenge 2 years after Jason drowns. Now, the thing is that, going back to the original, she's the killer, but I don't think people realize that at the end of that movie, and I'm sorry, spoiler alert, for the two people that didn't watch this thing, there's a final image where the final survivor gets attacked by the supposedly drowned Jason boy in the lake. And she wakes up, and it's like, people say, was that real? Was that hallucination? If you kind of looked into the backstory, Jason was 11 when he died, and the first movie takes place. Wow, it'd be like 2 decades after he died. So this is, I guess, where my questions begin. What are we doing with this story? Is it leading up to the first time she kills counselors after Jason dies? And then, okay, is that the end of the series? Where are we going with this? That's a 20-year gap between, when he dies, it drowns Jason, to when we get the first movie. So it could go in a lot of different directions. I'm excited that A24 is the one, that's the studio that's kind of that's there to guide this. I'm a big fan of that studio. But it comes down to the writing, and I know there's been a lot of back and forth with the people that own the rights to it. to like who has it now, I don't know. I still have questions.
Well,
Mhm.
we're gonna wait and see. I mean, from what I
Yeah, not,
understand,
not a single detail has been released about anything. So
no, nothing really, except who was
No.
cast as the
yeah,
Pamela Voorhees. That was it.
Right.
You
Keep
know,
it close to the vest.
I think they are going to film some parts here in Jersey because Crystal Lake was filmed in New Jersey.
yeah.
Yeah, so we'll wait and see what happens when that comes out. It'll be interesting. The next thing we want to talk about is Happy Gilmore 2. The trailer dropped, tease and everything. Now I'm a little bit biased because I am an extra in the movie. I actually filmed in a movie. I filmed 4 days. I've met Adam Sandler. I was on set with him and Shooter McGavin. They are the nicest people in the world. So I was
That's
there.
awesome.
I was there. I was filming in Branchburg Golf Course, like an hour away. 4 days, early mornings. I was there on set like 4 in the morning. And we wrapped up kind of like 6. Great time. We sang happy birthday to Adam Sandler's daughter. It was her birthday. Great time. Adam is one of the nicest guys I can ever tell you guys you got to meet. He's just one of the nicest guys. See, then he was filming here in Clifton, the other part of it. So I'm biased to the movie. I can't wait to see it because I'm going to be in it, hopefully. So I can't wait for it. It's not my favorite Happy Gilmore movie, but I do like, Happy Gilmore. Rob, we're going to start with you. What did you think of the trailer, and are you excited about the movie on Netflix?
I'm excited because Happy Gilmore is it's arguably probably my favorite Adam Sandler movie.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, you know why? Because Carl Weathers, I have like a soft spot
No worries.
for that for his character there.
Mhm.
But I remember having a lot of fun watching that movie. Now fast forward, decades later, I saw the trailer, and the first thing that kind of jumped out at me was that this feels like it's going to be more of a family centric type of style. I'm not sure. It's going to be, I think, a departure from
Mhm.
what we saw in the first movie, because the reason why is that line in that trailer that he's got to find his new happy place, and he's
Okay.
older. So you start thinking like, okay, he's of a certain age. What would be a happy place for a guy of that age that had his like peak at the end of the first movie?
Mhm.
He's still with his girl. I didn't see any kids, but maybe that's revealed. I'm not sure, but it just felt like he even said it. His type of place has to be age appropriate. So
Mhm.
I think it's going to be a softer version of Happy Gilmore.
Mhm.
So I don't know. It could be. I think it's going to be entertaining. I think the humor is going to be different. That's what I'm expecting this version to be.
Okay, that sounds pretty good. Dave, what do you think about the Happy Gilmore?
I agree with Rob. I didn't. The original Happy Gilmore came out at a time when I just wasn't a big Adam Sandler fan, so I didn't.
Mhm.
I've seen it, but if I paid attention, I like a lot of what he's done in recent years, and obviously he's a talented director. Um,
Mhm.
and my opinion on him has changed over the years. Um, would you call this like a legacy sequel? I don't know. Maybe you can't really call it a cash grab because it's coming out on Netflix. But I
Mhm.
think that also they're playing it a little bit safe because it
Mhm.
would be on Netflix. So
Mhm.
Rob's point, I think the comedy will be very different. I think it will be definitely a little bit more family centric, because his audience has gotten older too. Like
Yeah. Mhm.
we're all around the same age, so I don't know if we'd all find the same things funny that we did. Like I don't want to see Adam Sandler doing stuff he did in Happy Gilmore or Big Daddy. Like I don't want to see him doing that now.
Mhm.
So it could be good. And again, they don't have much to lose on Netflix. We're not looking
Yeah.
for box office numbers, nothing. It's
Mhm.
if it gets decent reviews, it's got staying power because hey, it's a rainy Friday night. What do you want to do? Oh, the new Happy Gilmore's out. Let's watch that.
Let's watch that. You're exactly right. And like I said, when it comes out, and I will give you guys my autograph for free when you guys see me in that movie. Okay,
That
I'm
promise.
definitely getting it. I promise because you're going to
Do
see
they
me in a
tell
few
you? Do
scenes.
you have any idea what like the story was outside of what you had to do?
Not really, but I do think his kids are going to be involved because their kids were on the sideline when he would make the shot. He would look to them and it was like and they were like clapping for him, like, "Come on, you can do it, Dad." So his kids are going to be involved, like whatever. I don't know if they're going to be his kids or whatever, but it was mostly the golf scene between him and the other guy that was going on that I was at the scene for. So I don't know. I don't have a true feel for it, but We'll wait and see.
All right.
But now the next big news, obviously, was Daredevil. Episode 2 episodes. We had 5 and 6. I've heard some people say that the Daredevil episode 5 was a filler episode. I didn't think so at all. I thought it was really good, and both episodes were just on point. Really on point. And for all those people that want to know, just want to know, spoilers are coming. So in case you didn't see it, you might want to wait and see it another time. What we're going to talk about, but great episode. The bank episode, and then obviously Kamala Khan, like I mentioned a couple weeks ago. Well, it was the father, but I think they're gonna have a dinner scene later.
Her Funko Pop showed up.
Yeah, exactly. Little Funko Pop. Dave, what did you think of the episode?
So I like the episode. I can see why people are saying it's filler, but we don't know.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know if anything shakes out after this. Like, will we see them at dinner? I liked seeing Matt get a little more violent again at the end.
Oh, when he broke the leg?
I don't know if everything they had to say in that episode needed a full episode, though. Like we had talked previously about the reason they were having 2 episodes is because there was a little bit more of a concrete narrative, and maybe first one ended a bit on a cliffhanger, and then like get the second one out. So I can appreciate. I feel they're doing the same thing they did with She-Hulk when they did that break the fourth wall, and she was in like the Marvel story generator. Like they're just taking a different kind of taking a big swing with the storytelling. This wasn't as big of a swing because the narrative was still pretty consistent, but the way in which it was delivered was different than the previous episodes. I still liked it, but I don't think we didn't need an entire episode of that, unless there's going to be some payoff later. Because
that's what I think.
We're talking about episode 6, I think we're starting to get a lot of story threads. They're starting to become a little too plentiful, and I'm going to be real shocked how they start to reel it in and give those storylines some closure.
Yeah, when he broke his leg, that at the end, that guy's leg, I felt that myself. Oh, what dude, that really hurt. I cringed when I saw that. Rob, what did you think of the episode?
Right, so I think Dave is on the right track, because when I enjoyed the episode, number one, I did, but it was definitely a change in tone to what we've had watched up to this point, and I suspect there's 2 reasons for it. One, this is, you call it filler. I think this is like the whole breathing point. Like, okay, let's just relax a little bit, enjoy a little Daredevil, just enough to like say, hey, he's coming. And I do like the character of Yosef Khan, the Kamala's dad. That whole family just cracks me up. So it was nice. But I think the reason why for the the filler feeling for it, or the change in tone, is because I think we're getting set up for some really hardcore and probably uncomfortable ending to come. Because before we start talking about episode 6, but I got the sense like, okay, this is the one that's like, okay, this is the last time you're gonna see like a happy ending for the series for a while, because Muse is coming. Muse is out there, and once he's introduced, if for anyone that's familiar with that character and that story arc in the comic books, that some really messed up things are coming.
Yep, you're definitely right. Dave, I wanted to ask you, and you, Rob, also, you see episode then 6 turns where he becomes. They both didn't want to be their character, their alter ego. They both kind of separated from it. Now he's back wearing the suit, and now Kingpin is also becoming Kingpin again, because he's beating up that guy. He's taking a lot of crap, and he's like, you know what? No more. So they both want. Did you see that, how it was coming? You think it's going to get worse and worse for both characters?
I think it's going to get worse. I think here's where I feel like we're getting into murky water, because we kind of have whatever's happening with Fisk and trying to be the mayor and trying to be not be Kingpin.
Correct.
There's still the relationship with Vanessa that's weird. And then there's like the third kind of story arc with them, with the 2 of them, and in therapy with Matt's girlfriend. Like, I can't I can't imagine that doesn't turn into anything in some way, and it may not. It might
Mhm.
not. But then if it doesn't pay off in some way, either with something happening with the girlfriend or them reconciling their marriage, and why are we even doing it? Like
That's true.
there's a fair amount of time devoted to their sessions and what's going on, and some of the really thoughtful questions that are being asked. But I would like to see some type of payoff, and this is where it starts to get a little bit. Is this Do we need all these story arcs? I don't know.
Mhm. That's
Um,
true.
Matt's a little bit more straightforward. He's like, I'm not Daredevil. Now I'm Daredevil. And
Mhm.
the interesting thing is when he was fighting the Irish guy in the alleyway, I can't tell if Matt's like a little bit rusty because they're not really addressing it. But I also feel he had a little bit more trouble with him than he should have. Now,
Mhm.
granted, he completely annihilated his leg and smashed his face on either the bottle or broke the glass on the newspaper machine. But I feel like he could have done way more damage. We've seen
Yeah.
him do more damage.
Yes.
Um,
And that's a great point. It's a
and
really great
same
point.
thing with the Muse fight. He was a little bit better with the Muse fight because he had
Yes.
his suit and he had his billy
Mm.
clubs. But I feel like it shouldn't have been as difficult as they made it seem. And I'm fine
Mhm.
with that, but just
Mhm.
there should be some internal dialogue that he's having or something that's letting us know that he's maybe off his game because he hasn't been Daredevil for a while.
Yep, exactly. Rob, you're a screenwriter.
Mhm.
What do you think? How do you think they're going with the characters? You think their arcs are going to where they're supposed to be?
I think it is lining up pretty. I don't want to say it's formulaic, but you definitely throughout this series, and don't get me wrong, this is not a knock on it, but it's they've gone through definite pains to kind of
Mhm.
like point you where this thing is supposed to be going. It's supposed to be this, internal. You talk, Dave mentioned about internal dialogues. I think this whole series has been kind of like an internal dialogue for Matt. He made a decision after Foggy's death that what, this is not the way. I'm gonna try a different way, and it's like it's at every turn he tries. And I believe you guys mentioned about this in your previous show that no matter how hard either of these two characters, him and Fisk, are trying to change, it's
Yes.
it's just not them. It's not who they are, and they
Mhm.
can't. They fight to not be that person. That's why you have Daredevil in the last couple of episodes, Matt really screaming, just like that whole like internal animal, just
Mhm.
like just is being suppressed. And
Mhm.
I think that's part of the whole off his game comment comes from,
Mhm.
because I think he's still he does that alley fight, that's still Matt. That's not Daredevil. That's Matt fighting. He hasn't unleashed Daredevil yet. I think we got
Mhm.
more of that when Muse came out,
Mhm.
because now he sees a faceless, monster going after the daughter of the guy he failed to save. And
Mhm.
now the game's changed. So
Mhm.
yeah, at the end of episode 6, I'm back. Not Matt, Daredevil. He's
Daredevil.
back. So now
Yep.
the character's change has finally flipped.
Mhm. Yeah, I was also thinking also in this when Kingpin was talking to Luca, I think it was
Mm.
at the track sort of mafia, whatever they're called. I don't know what they are. The guys are tracksuit mafia. I wanted Kingpin to just grab him and like be the Kingpin, but I could see he was still struggling. I
I
guess
thought
this
he
is
was gonna.
me too. I
I
thought he was
want to know
going
what
to.
that pit is that he gave him.
Yes. Then he just raised the price of the whatever. But I think we're gonna see that Kingpin coming within the next episode or so. That real Kingpin. What do you think, Dave?
If that's what happens, I think that's how him and Vanessa reconcile a little bit. He comes back to where like they separate. He comes away from the crime. She goes towards the crime. Now they both don't know where they sit. If he can figure out how to do them both, I think that helps. I think that helps their relationship.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because he beat the shit out of that guy Adam and gave him the axe. He said, "Here, come after me."
Yeah.
Coming back to him. So I thought that was pretty cool. Well, we'll see. I mean, I these episodes have been great so far. Overall, the series has been great. They're already, I think, filming the second season. Or whatever they got done. So I can't wait for more of it. What about you guys? You really looking forward to it? What do you think?
Well, we've seen the behind the scenes shots of him and Bernthal in full gear on the
Correct.
street.
Mhm.
So we know some stuff is coming.
Yes, some more
So
stuff coming.
I mean, there's only what 3 episodes left. There's only 9 total.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
there's one more week and then another double, right?
Yes, they're going to do another one more week, then another double episode. So we'll wait and see. And great series so far. I loved every one of them. I think the one with Frank Castle is still my favorite. I don't know, that one so far is still my favorite, but we see. We got 3 more to go. We'll check it out when it comes. All right, guys, we got now the final episode of Reacher is actually coming tomorrow, right? That's the final episode that's coming. Reacher's been an up and down series. There's a lot of things going on. Reacher wants to get revenge on Beck and Quinn, and Duffy wants to find the informant. There's a lot of things going on. Dave, what do you think right now about the series, and what do you expect for the finale tomorrow?
I love it. It's delivered every single time. Every time the damn credits roll, I get pissed because I feel like there's just come on, man. Just give me like 3 more minutes and then cut it.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's some big stakes in the last episode because we've seen people die because they're standalone stories. So nothing really there doesn't have to be a through line, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you'd like to see Beck and his son make it.
Correct.
They may not.
Nope.
We know Neely's going to be fine. She's got her own show coming.
Mm-hmm.
But Duffy and Villanueva, I don't know what's his the guy's name. We don't know. Teresa might not make it. Like there's a lot up in the air. The only thing we know for sure, maybe not even for sure, like 85%, is that Paulie and Reacher are going to fight, and then somehow he's got to take on Quinn.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of ass kickery that has to happen in this last episode.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. Rob, what have you thought of the series so far? What do you expect for this finale?
It's definitely been. I agree with Dave. It's delivered. The thing with Reacher, and I've been late to the game with Reacher, which that's on me. But it seems like with the episodes, you talk about leaving you hanging. It has a real annoying like habit of just like, okay, this is a great episode, whatever, and then just cram just a little bit on the last minute or so. You're just like, whoa, no, don't do that. That's mean. But as far as like what I'm expecting for the finale, I mean, honestly, it's got to be something of like just a messed up bloodbath. It should be. It's lined up to be. I agree, Dave. With Dave, it's I don't know if anyone's gonna make it. Like, and not anybody. I'm sure people, of course, are gonna make it, but I'm afraid for I'm afraid for that the father's son. I mean, Beck and his kid. It just seems like Beck's gonna be the one that's like gonna be the first one to go. To be quite honest, that this last episode was like they were saying really their goodbyes. To be quite honest, and then and then reach at the end realizing that it's a setup that this is not where the buyers are going to be. That so everything now it's a rush, mad dash to get to where it's all going to end. And for me, I expect at least 2 characters of significance to pass. Beck, I think, is going to be one of them. The other one, I think, is going to be a surprise. That I'm expecting at least one person that we're not ready for that it's going to go.
Yeah, that's what I think so too. We're all waiting for the Paulie and Reacher fight. That's going to be a big one. Now, I haven't read the books, Dave. I don't know if you read the books. Have you read the books?
I have a book in my bookcase.
Okay, because from what I understand, this is based on the Persuader this season, and I think Lee Childs, they went away from some of the things. It's close to it, but not. So we don't know what's going to follow the book or whatever. I'm not sure. I didn't read the book, so I don't know. But the Paulie and Reacher fight, everyone is going to be waiting for. So that's going to be really good. Guys, I think that is really about it. We had some Avengers talk that happened that dropped today, some Avengers stuff. They showed the chairs of the back of each Avenger as they went down every 12 minutes and released another character. I thought the presentation was a little bit stupid because you waited 12 minutes and then it was just like, I think it was a live stream for like 6 hours of the showing a chair. It didn't make any sense. But some of the names that were revealed kind of tells you this is going to be a really different story. Some of the names that were revealed, I don't know, Rob or Dave, if you saw any of the names, Patrick Stewart is going to be in there.
Yep.
Ian
Yeah,
McKellen.
yeah. James Marsden, the original Cyclops is going to be there. The
Yes.
one name that for me stood out because I was wondering whether this guy's even going to come back now because of the happenings with the actor, but Tenoch Huerta Mejia Namor.
Oh, Namor.
Uh,
Yes. That's right.
yeah, I was that one actually blew me away because
Yes.
last time I heard he was having some issues, with like similar issues that Jonathan Majors was dealing with. So the fact that they put out his name there, that Namor is coming
Mm-hmm.
for this movie, I mean, I thought that was I loved that version of Namor. Was just different. It was like a little
Mm-hmm.
more raw. So
Yep.
I'm glad to see that he's coming back. But some of the other names, so I think you're gonna see this is I think the final send off for the Fox X-Men crew.
Yeah.
Um, but it's yeah, you're
Chris-
right. That was like a 6-hour presentation. I took the longest lunch break ever today to try and get as much of it in as possible. But
Yeah, I thought something was
it,
wrong with my. I thought something was wrong with my computer because it wasn't.
yeah,
I was like, "What's going on?" But we got Chris Hemsworth's going to be in it. Obviously, Paul Rudd is going to be there. Sebastian Stan, Larita Wright is going to be there as Black Panther. We had a lot of people from the Thunderbolts team. Looks like they're all going to be there. But some of the
yeah.
other
It looks
ones,
like they're gonna live.
yeah, it looks like they're going to all live, right? Who else? Loki was there, which I thought was a little bit surprise. And then the other one was Channing Tatum. He's going to be there. So that was pretty cool. I was like, wow. Dave, did you see any other the list?
No, I literally, as soon as you said that, I opened my phone and I saw one of the Collider posts naming everybody.
Yeah.
So at first glance, like, oh my God, everyone's here. But then when
Yeah.
you think about where all these characters currently are in canon,
Mm-hmm.
they're going to have to shoehorn a lot of stuff in between now and this next movie for this to make any kind of sense, I think.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You're right.
Like, just even think about where Loki is. He's keeping all the timelines together. So
Yeah.
his character makes sense, but like what exactly is going to be his capacity? Or is he going to be is Loki the one who then picks all these heroes from various timelines to come and do what they need to do? I guess that could be cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just
yeah.
Multiverse. It solves all.
Yeah, Kelsey Grammer's in it too as the Beast. I saw that too. Who knows what they're gonna do with him? Too bad he didn't show up as Frasier. But
Yeah, right. That'd have been awesome.
exactly. But yeah, I saw those names. We're gonna see what happens. It's in production now. Everything's going on. Their film, whatever. So we'll see. At the end of it, Robert Downey Jr. was there, just kind of said a little hello and then took off. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. But guys, I think that's about it. I appreciate Dave you coming on, and Rob, thank you for coming on. Hope you join us next week again. This was really fun.
Thanks for having me.
Yep, no problem, man. I appreciate it. And we will see you guys next week. Same bad time, same bad channel. I'll talk to you guys next week. Thanks, guys.
Thanks for watching the Zapata Brand Podcast. Please subscribe to the podcast and listen where all podcasts are available.